Hey guys, it's Timmy, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as we are here on the 16th of May, 2021, to talk about everything that went down tonight at WrestleMania Backlash. I'm going to say for the most part, I enjoyed the show tonight. Thought the show itself was pretty good. There was some crap on this show. I will say that for sure, as I adjust my camera here. Okay, I think that's good as it's going to get. Anyways, I will get into the crap because there's always some sort of crap on a WWE show. But for the most part, I enjoyed the majority of this show tonight, WrestleMania Backlash. I still don't get why they had to call it WrestleMania Backlash. It could have just been Backlash and would have been the exact same show. But hey, we're here. We're talking about it. And we'll get into it, but I do want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited or YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember, if you're watching on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways, either with a super chat. No, that's on YouTube. You can help us out a couple of different ways by hitting that donate button down below or donating Twitch bits in the live chat. This camera positioning, hold on, guys. It looked good when I tested it, but I guess I hit the mic or the camera or something. There we go. It just was off to me. We're good now. Twitch, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel. One of two different ways. You can help us out with a Twitch Prime subscription. How you get Twitch Prime? You have Amazon Prime. With Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription to any Twitch channel that you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and we greatly appreciate it if you helped us here. Pro Wrestling Unlimited, or you can subscribe just like Broken King Slender has with that tiered subscription. Also, on the flip side, if you're watching on YouTube, you can help us out a couple of different ways as well. Help us out with a super chat or a super sticker donation, or you can become a channel member. All you got to do to become a channel member is hit that join button down below. As a channel member, you get early access to podcasts, you get early access to non-news videos, like the video we put out yesterday about Daniel Bryan, and you get early access to exclusive news that you won't see anywhere else first, like the news we reported yesterday and on our YouTube channel members community page and patreon.com/PW Unlimited, that it looks like Money in the Bank will be taking place on July 18th. Yes, we reported that yesterday before anybody else, but did they give us credit? No, they gave it to somebody else, even though we were the first to report on that. The Money in the Bank will be taking place on July 18th with a live crowd. Also, guys, if you want to be part of tonight's show, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. But also, no co-host for the pay-per-view, so you guys get to be the co-host. That's right, we're taking calls at the end of this review. We will be taking your calls to hear what you have to say about WrestleMania Backlash once we get into and talk about the whole show itself. So let's get that started right here, right now. Let's throw that number in the chat as well for you guys. Let's throw the poll up really quick. That'll take just a second. What did you think of WrestleMania Backlash? I liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. Whoop, not all caps. All right, poll is live on Twitch. Throw the same poll up for you guys watching on YouTube. Liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. All right, so I didn't see the kickoff show, but I did see that Sheamus defeated Ricochet. Okay, cool, whatever. As far as the main show does go, the main show opened up with a video narrated by Batista. Basically, he was supposed to be hyping up tonight's WrestleMania Backlash, but it was more for him to hype up his movie, Army of the Dead, which I think is Army of the Dead. Did I write that right? Army of the Dead, which was funny because I saw some people on Twitter calling it Army of Darkness for some reason. I don't know where they got that from, but yeah. Bangs, you missed a good show, to be honest. There was some really good wrestling on tonight's show. Edwin Pereira, there's no need for any of that. No need to. You're about to get banned, bro, with all your nonsense in the chat. But with that, this show started off with a triple threat match. The Raw Women's Championship match went about 15 and a half minutes. The match itself was good. I will say that for sure. They did the special ring introductions with all three standing in the ring. Flair rolled to the floor early wearing her Cruella de Vil 101 Dalmatians gear. He thought, okay, I'll let you two fight and then I'll come back in later, but that's not what happened. Oh, no. These other two women said, no, we'll take the fight to you, Mrs. Flair. Ripley rolled up Flair for a near fall in the ring, but Asuka broke up the pin attempt. Flair ended up on the apron and Asuka knocked her off with a hip attack. Ripley and Asuka went back and forth until Flair pulled Asuka out of the ring. Flair took over and isolated Ripley back in the ring. Flair ended up back on the apron and Asuka pulled her leg. Ripley knocked Flair off the apron. Asuka climbed up the turnbuckle, but Ripley knocked her off the top. Flair then recovered and knocked out Ripley on the floor. She isolated Asuka in the ring and hit a boot to the face for a 2 count. Asuka recovered here and caught Flair in an armbar. Flair broke free, but Asuka locked in another armbar. Ripley then jumped back in to break up the submission, and Flair fought back and regained control. At one point, Asuka gave Flair 2 German suplexes and a hip attack to Rhea. Asuka then hit Flair and Ripley with a series of kicks. She followed this up with a sliding knee on Flair for a near fall. Asuka caught Ripley with a missile dropkick at one point, and Ripley pulled Asuka off the apron. Flair would then follow this up with her patented, I think that's the word, moonsault off the top to the floor, and she was barely caught by these two women because they were standing just ever so slightly too far apart. It's all good, though. She got right back up. She threw Asuka back into the ring, but Ripley cut Flair off. Flair attempted a superplex, but Flair held on. Asuka then finally joined when they did a little Tower of Doom spot, double superplex to Charlotte Flair. Ripley, Flair, and Asuka traded shots in the middle of the ring. Ripley then caught Flair and Asuka with headbutts. Flair attempted a moonsault at one point on Asuka and Ripley, but they both moved. Ripley then tried to give Asuka the riptide, but Flair made the save. Flair ended up back on the apron yet again. Asuka then charged at Flair on the apron, but Flair caught her with a boot. Flair then fell on the apron, and Ripley hit the riptide on Asuka to pick up the victory and retain the Raw Women's Championship. Mr. Bangs, yes, that was the only title change. So, Charlotte Flair, Asuka fall short tonight to Rhea Ripley. I thought the match itself was good. Could have been better. I will say that for sure. Could have been better. So after the match, Ripley taunted at Charlotte. She did the whole, I'm like, oh no. That's 2 things. Actually, 3 things. Well, not 2. A, you're basically saying that Charlotte's still involved in some of this with Rhea, which crap. But then also, it's making your fucking champion look like a dweeb. A freaking dweeb. To do the whole, neener, I'm still the champion, ha 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 ha. Like, what? I didn't like that at all. At all. From the back of the show, Bobby Lashley and MVP arriving at the arena. We then get John Morrison promising to talk to the Lumberjacks on behalf of The Miz, saying, hey, they're going to be in your favor because they're going to like my thirst trap. And Miz goes, I don't think you know what a thirst trap is. And he goes, they don't call me the most moist sea superstar for nothing. And he leaves. Also on the pre-show, Dominic Mysterio was attacked by the Dirty Dogs, Ziggler and Rude. They recapped that. Michael Cole noted that the Mysterio's dream of winning tag titles may not happen as we cut to the trainer's room. Dominic is being checked on. Doctor basically says, yeah, I wouldn't advise you competing. Didn't say he wasn't cleared. So remember that. That was something you had to think of context clues. The doctor never said Dominic's not cleared to compete. He advised that he didn't. Dominic goes, I want to compete. Ray said, no, live to fight another day. I'll go out there and try to do it myself. Remember, they never said, because I saw people on Twitter going, I thought the doctor said he wasn't cleared. The doctor never said he wasn't cleared. The doctor advised him against competing. So this next match goes 17 minutes, and it's Ray and eventually Dominic taking on the Dirty Dogs with the SmackDown Tag Team titles on the line. This match is really fun. Told a great story. So, yeah. Going forward, Michael Cole pointed out that Ray's daughter and wife are currently on the watch-along stream for WWE. Ray would come out and decide to compete by himself. Didn't even try to get a new partner, no nothing. Excuse me. No nothing, which basically was like, yep, Dominic's coming out later. But I saw a lot of people on Twitter going, you know what would make sense? Just have Ray go out there and say, I got a new partner to be Buddy Murphy. But here's the issue. If they do that and Ray and Buddy Murphy win, they're the tag champions, not Ray and Dominic. And I doubt Buddy Murphy would say, I helped. Here, Dominic, you can have the belt. I'll just go to the wayside. Doubt that would happen. All right, Edwin. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. You're gone, bud. Always. You're always in the chat trying to... Yeah, no. We don't need people in the chat trying to divert the conversations to talk about things that have nothing to do with what we're talking about. But with that, going forward, again, Ray was like, hey, do I have something that says Ray Phoenix in the ticker? Give me 1 second, guys. The ticker may be a little off. Let me fix that. Sometimes it happens. I think I might have known what happened. Can't speak. I think I know what happened. Yep, I see it. I don't know. I know exactly what happened. What happens when you copy and paste? All right, it should be fixed here next time it circles around. That is number 4. Thank you guys for letting me know about that. Back to this match. The match starts off and it's Ray all by himself. The heels took over pretty quickly, even though Ray did get slight advantage early, but then, the numbers game. It's the numbers game. Ray at one point sends Ziggler to the floor. Rude was on and wiped Rude off the ropes. But the heels did take control and slowed the pace down. Basically, at the start, Ray tried to just go and get this thing out of the way. Get this match won quick. But it didn't happen. Ray fought back and forth with Ziggler. Knocked him off the apron. Ray climbed to the top, but Ziggler knocked him off. Ray ended up in the Tree of Woe and injured his knee. Rude worked over the knee of Rey Mysterio. The referee asked Ray, you still want to go? Or do you want to quit? And Ray said, no, I won't quit. Ray fought back, and the heels hit an assisted famouser for a close near fall. Rude threw Ray under the bottom rope, and Ziggler caught him with a super kick. Ray beat the 10 count to get back into the ring, but the heels were firmly still in control. They went for a double suplex, but Ray reversed it. Ray fought back and sent Ziggler shoulder first into the post. Dominic would then slowly and gingerly make his way down to the ring. Dominic begged his father to tag him in, and Ray said, no, you're hurt. I can't allow that. Ray set up Ziggler for a 619, but Ziggler recovered and hit a zigzag instead. The heels isolated Ray on their side of the ring. Rude climbed to the top rope with Ray on his shoulders. Ray fought back and hit a bulldog off the top. Cool spot. Ray crawled to the corner, but hesitated to tag Dominic. Ray caught Rude with the dropkick and fell into the corner where Dominic blind tagged himself in and briefly ran wild. Rude caught Dominic with a spine buster to take over, though. Remember, he's still hurt. And this is where the storytelling really got good in this match. The heels hit an assisted neck breaker for another near fall. Ziggler set up for a super kick, but Dominic hit a super kick of his own. Ray got the hot tag and briefly ran wild. Rude caught Ray with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker for a close near fall. Ray fought back into 619 on Rude. Ray tagged in Dominic and took out Ziggler with a sunset powerbomb into the barricade. Dominic then hit a frog splash off the top onto Robert Roode to pick up the victory. The Mysterios are the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Dominic wins his first championship ever in his career, not just in WWE. And we make history. Well, they make history. First father-son duo to win tag team champions, to be tag team champions in the history of WWE. Think about that. In the history of WWE, WWF, or WWF, there have never been a father-son duo to become the champions. Tag team champions, that is. That's really cool. Very cool to see that we did get new tag team champions here, and it's Ray and Dominic. We all expected them to eventually be the champions, so I wasn't shocked one bit. Honestly, though, this would have been so much better if it was at WrestleMania. Because if it was at WrestleMania in Raymond James Stadium, just think how crazy that crowd would have went. Angie and Aaliyah could have been there. You could have been like, hey, Angie and Aaliyah, they're watching in the front row as Dominic and Ray try to make history. And it wouldn't be like, oh, why are they here? Because if they would have brought them there tonight, then it would have really given away that they were winning. So you should be like, hey, it's WrestleMania. Families are always around. You know what I mean? But with that, Ray and Dominic are the champions. Apparently, they went on a watch-along afterwards and talked. I didn't see that, but that's what... So when the show ends on Peacock, when pay-per-views end on Peacock, they send it to like a post-show for the watch-along, and they said we had Ray and Dominic on here earlier. I didn't see that or hear that, so... But going forward, after the match, Kayla Braxton interviewed Ray and Dominic in the ring. They celebrated winning the tag team titles and becoming the first ever father-son duo to win those titles. They then aired a commercial for Army of the Dead. In the back, John Morrison approached the Lumberjack locker room. And my first thought was, the fuck is there a locker room just for the Lumberjacks? Wouldn't they just be in the male locker room? And this is when shit went off the rails for a little while. He knocks on the door. He's like, hey, Johnny Chip Chip. And he opens the door, and there's like smoke and a weird lighting. And the camera kind of cuts around the corner. And he goes, oh, what? And you see zombies in the room. And he's like, this is the one I was expecting. So a bunch of zombies are in the room. They're like, yeah, like zombies do. So then we see Jey Uso, and he enters in Roman Reigns' locker room. And Jimmy enters Roman's locker room. Jey is there by himself. Jimmy gets in Jey's face and notes that, hey, this locker room ain't yours. It's Roman's. The sign on the door says Roman Reigns. Maybe it should say Roman Reigns and his bitch. He's like, you need to get your act together. We need to get our own locker room. May not be as palatial as this one. But if we can get our own locker room, then, well, you could say Jimmy and Jey Uso. Basically, Roman would show up. He approached them. Jimmy just wanted to wish Roman good luck in his match tonight against Cesaro. John Morrison catches up with Miz and goes, we got a problem. You know, these Lumberjacks, they're not what you think. And Miz is like, I don't have time for any of this right now. I got to go. My match is next. So Miz goes to walk off. Morrison's trying to tell him, hey, you may not want to go out there. And then the zombies come walking around in the back. Going forward, we did get that match. It was Basically, a lumberjack zombie match or zombie lumberjack match. Showed a tweet from Batista where he said, "I can't be there tonight, but maybe some of my friends can." Well, those friends turned out to be the fucking zombies. And this match sucked. Major suckage. Yes, I said it. This match sucked. Major suckage. So, Morrison, Miz come out, Damian Priest comes out, and then all of a sudden, it turns into a horror movie. All the screens look like a war zone, wasteland kind of deal, and the zombies start coming out from the sides. And Miz gets freaked out. Morrison gets freaked out. Priest is in the ring going, "What the fuck is going on? What did I sign up for?" So Miz and Morrison tried to run away, but there were too many zombies. Here's my thing. Zombies run slow. Miz and Morrison can run fast. Just fucking run. Up the ramp, out the fucking building. Don't turn around and run in the ring to your opponent that you don't want to fight. Like shit. So, at first they focused on all the zombies at ringside and whatever, and it was like, this is bad right off the start. And Miz took a boot. No, Miz gave a boot. No. Where am I? I lost my spot. Oh, I see what happened. My notes froze, and I thought I scrolled down, but I didn't. So Miz and Morrison tried to run away, like I said. Too many zombies. Ran over to the commentary table, but the zombies came up from under the table. Focus of the match was on the zombies at ringside. Miz knocked a couple down with a boot and fell to the floor. He crawled under the ring to get away from the zombies. Priest, still watching, eventually took advantage and scored a near fall, pulling Miz into the ring and knocking him down. Priest would follow this up with a spinning heel kick off the top rope for a near fall. Miz avoided a kick and locked on a figure four. The zombies then pulled Miz and Priest out of the ring. They then look at each other like, "Oh crap, what do we do?" Oh. Turn. They both start fighting the fucking zombies. Like, in tandem. Working together. Bullshit. Bullshit. This match sucked big suckage. They get back into the ring, and Miz is like, "Yeah, high five. We work together." Damian Priest is kind of like, maybe high five you. And then Miz goes to kick him in the gut. Priest catches the kick and knocks down the Miz. This was so bad. Priest rocked a zombie with a kick to the head at one point. Priest then hit a Falcon Arrow on the Miz. Morrison ran back up onto the apron, but Priest knocked him off the apron. Miz then hit a running knee on Priest for a near fall. Morrison took out some zombies with a dive. He attempted to move off the barricade, but a bunch of zombies grabbed him and dragged him to the other side of the barricade. Priest then caught Miz with the lights out and picked up the victory. Wow, this was crap. Then the zombies start climbing into the ring. Damian Priest climbs up to the top rope to get away from them and watches as the zombies all crawl on top of Miz. Priest gets out of the ring, walks up the ramp, shoots his fake arrow. He then says, "Army of the Dead" up on the big old board above the ring. And yeah, bullshit. This sucked big time. There was not even an ounce of anything good in this match other than at least Damian Priest won. At least Damian Priest won and didn't also get eaten by the zombies. Zack Snyder and Netflix better have paid a lot for this fucking shit. In the back, Jey Uso approached Jimmy. Jey was furious with Jimmy for the way he talked to Roman. Jimmy got in Jey's face and mocked him. As we move on, SmackDown Women's title match. Also, that zombie match went 7 minutes. This next match, 16. Forbidden King says, "Can the undead be vaccinated?" Well, here's a better question. Can the undead get or contract COVID-19 at all? Maybe they can't even get it or pass it on to somebody else, and so that doesn't even matter. Things to think about. Yes, New Jeffrey, this was not just basically to promote Batista's new movie. It was 100% all to promote Batista's new movie. So Bianca Belair and Bayley had a pretty good match. They both worked really hard to tell a good story. Belair had the early advantage as she caught Bayley with the drop kick. Belair chased Bayley around ringside. She avoided Bayley with a leapfrog and hit a shoulder tackle. Bayley followed up with a head. Belair followed this up with a head spring splash for a near fall. Bayley grabbed Belair's earrings to take over. My question was, why didn't she take them off to start? Bayley slowed the pace down with a chin lock, as heels usually do. Bayley caught Belair with a back suplex for a 2. Belair fought back and hit a suplex. Bayley then recovered and used an inside cradle for a near fall. They both fought around ringside. Bayley regained control after she dropped Belair on the steps. Belair kicked out of a pin attempt and sent Bayley to the floor. Since Saturday, you couldn't be more wrong or more right. At one point, Belair fired up and ran wild on her challenger, Bayley. She missed a charge, though, in the corner, and Bayley regained control. Belair caught Bayley with a spine buster and got a near fall off of it. Bayley would recover and hit a flying elbow for a near fall of her own. Bayley then sent Belair into the ring post. Belair missed a suicide dive. No, Bayley missed a suicide dive. And Belair drove her into the apron. Bayley used a backslide with her feet on the ropes for a near fall. She tried to cheat, but the referee caught her. Remember that. The heel tried to cheat, but it was not to be. Bayley then racked Belair's eyes to regain control. Bayley did the ripcord using Belair's hair. She then hit a Bayley to belly for a 2. Bayley attempted the rose plant, but Belair reversed it in a roll-up using her hair to tie up Bayley and pick up the victory. So yes, Bayley tried to cheat first, but then the babyface champion also cheated and got to pick up the victory. I'm over this Bianca Belair hair stuff. Like it's just getting too much to where it's almost like Since Saturday says in the chat, a distraction. They make the hair too much of a focal point towards the ends of these matches or big spots in these matches. And it's just, no, it doesn't need to be anymore. I know I've gotten some slack about talking about Bianca's hair in the past. But I mean, it's just too much. It's too much. We need to just get past the hair thing. It doesn't need to be used as much as it does. It's cool visual. She's walking down the ring and she swings it around for her entrance and stuff. But using it as a weapon in the match, I don't know. In the back, Kevin Patrick interviewed MVP. He noted MVP tried to sweeten up Braun Strowman this past Monday, and Strowman turned down his offer. He promised that Bobby Lashley would retain the WWE Championship tonight. He should have done the Paul Heyman thing and said, "That's not a prediction, that's a spoiler." Because everybody expected Bobby Lashley to retain. This next match is the triple threat for the WWE Championship. Bobby Lashley defending against Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman. Match goes about 14 minutes or so. Forbidden King, yes it is, but because it's part of her, I guess she can't be DQ'd for it. Yeah, I know, Forbidden King. I know. I've been preaching this for months now. And all I get is crap because everyone comes at me saying I'm wrong, but whatever. We're off the Bianca stuff. We're talking Bobby. We're talking Drew. We're talking Braun in a really good triple threat match with a lot of hard-hitting action. Strowman had the early advantage, and he threw Lashley and McIntyre all around the ring and ringside. Lashley and McIntyre tried to work together early and hit a double suplex on Strowman. McIntyre took over and hit a crossbody on Lashley. He scored a near fall on Strowman, but Lashley broke up the pin attempt. Lashley slammed Strowman down with another and got a near fall off of it. Strowman then hit Lashley with the steps to gain control briefly. Remember, triple threat, no disqualification. McIntyre hit the Claymore kick on Strowman and sent him over the barricade. Lashley then gave McIntyre a suplex on the ramp to gain control. McIntyre fought back and sent Lashley into the LED boards off the ramp. Just threw him off the ramp. He disappeared And everyone goes, oh my God, where's Bobby Lashley? And an itch on my nose that won't go away. Anyways. All the explosions went off, bing, bang, boom, and Graves pointed out that Lashley's gone. Strowman then attacked McIntyre to retake control of the match. He tossed McIntyre back into the ring and hit a senton for a near fall. Strowman missed a charge into the corner, and McIntyre hit a Michinoku driver on the big man to get a close near fall. Strowman ran at McIntyre ringside, but McIntyre countered with a suplex. McIntyre attempted the Claymore kick, but Braun caught him and powerbombed him onto the announce table. This was a cool spot because McIntyre's running. He's running, speeding over at Strowman. He jumps up for the Claymore, and Strowman catches him right in the powerbomb. Boom! Right down through the table, and Strowman's like, jacks up. He's just like, what now? And I'm like, oh, fuck. This guy's got muscles on muscles I've never seen before. Apparently, he's training for a bodybuilding competition. So he's getting himself more jacked than almost anybody in this company. So McIntyre goes to the announce table. Strowman went for the running power slam, but McIntyre slipped out of it in the ring. McIntyre then responds with a Claymore. Here's where everybody expected this to happen. Strowman's down with the Claymore. In returns Bobby Lashley. I expected Drew to take a spear, but no. All that happens is Lashley grabs him and throws him over the top rope like he's eliminating him from the Royal Rumble. Apparently, that kept McIntyre down long enough for Lashley to hit Braun Strowman with a spear and go for the pin. Like, he threw Drew over the top rope. Drew couldn't have quickly got to his feet and slid back in to break the pin? Like, that, man, I thought he should have took a spear, rolled him out of the ring, and then hit. Yeah. Anyways. The match ends with Bobby Lashley retaining by pinning Braun Strowman, and McIntyre's just on one knee at ringside looking up as Bobby's celebrating. And he's just like, oh, mad, pissed, whatever. And I go, bro, you're the one that didn't jump back in the ring in time. But they made a point to show that McIntyre wasn't down and out, and he wasn't the one pinned. Oy vey. McIntyre's going to show up tomorrow and go, Bobby, I didn't lose. You pinned Braun. I want another shot. And I'm going to go, you don't deserve it. You don't deserve it, you fucker, because you lost. You didn't get pinned, but you still lost. So I hope they don't go to Drew trying to say that he wasn't the one pinned, so he deserves another shot. Full loss at WrestleMania and WrestleMania Backlash. Move on. Who do they move on to on Raw? Fuck if I know. SmackDown's got the same problem. I don't see a babyface raring to go. Let me go do something really fast. Look at the Raw roster really, really, really quick before we move forward. Because I want to see who on Raw is, like, ready, if anybody. I mean, maybe Damian Priest is the only one on a little bit of a win streak deal. Because if you look at the Raw roster, literally, the only person with any momentum on the babyface side is Damian Priest. That's it. There's no other babyface that's even remotely worthy of challenging. I mean, you've got Randy Orton, you got Riddle, but they're a tag team now. We haven't seen The Fiend for a while. Hope they don't go that route. Brian Lazaro says Keith Lee. Keith Lee apparently is out, not cleared to compete. Ace says Shelton Benjamin. You mean the guy that keeps losing tag matches and then got fucking talked down to by Cedric? Yeah, no. He's lower on the totem pole than Mansoor. But yeah, I think the only person with any momentum, if they want to go somebody new to challenge Bobby, I mean, it's got to be Damian Priest. It's got to be. There's nobody else. So going forward, we got our main event. Match went 27 and a half minutes. And it did not feel that long because it was such a good match. It's the Universal title match. Roman Reigns defending against Cesaro. Cesaro comes out, makes his entrance, and then we see in Gorilla Roman, Paul, and Jay. Jay's hyping up Roman, saying, "We got this. We got this." He then says at one point, "What if?" Roman goes, "What do you mean, what if?" That was my Braun Strowman. He says, "What do you mean, what if?" And Reigns goes, "You don't think I can do this by myself?" Compared Jay to Jimmy. He said, "Maybe you should go find your brother. I don't need you out there." Told Jay not to follow him to the ring. So the match begins. They battle the lockup early on. Till Reigns backs Cesaro into the corner. Reigns slowed the pace down with a headlock, but Cesaro broke free. Reigns hit a shoulder tackle for a 1. Reigns got a headlock on, but Cesaro broke free yet again. Cesaro caught Reigns with a shoulder tackle for a 1 of his own. Reigns became frustrated and rolled out of the ring. Reigns sent Cesaro to the floor, and he landed on his arm, seemingly hurting the arm. Reigns worked over Cesaro's hurt arm and slammed him into the announce table. Reigns slowed down the pace with another headlock chinlock deal. And Cesaro attempted a suplex, but Reigns reversed it, and hit a suplex of his own. Pace slowed down yet again. Again, chinlock. Cesaro breaks free. Reigns hit a flying clothesline, got a 1 off of it. Reigns went back to the chinlock, but Cesaro tried to fight back, and Reigns hit a Samoan drop for a near fall. Cesaro avoided a Superman punch with a pop-up uppercut that changed the tides of this match for a little while. Cesaro followed this up with a series of uppercuts in the corner and hit a big boot on the champ for a near fall. Cesaro targeted Reigns' leg to try and lock on the sharpshooter, but Reigns crawled to the ropes to break the hold. Cesaro then hit a corkscrew plancha to the floor. He followed this up with a running uppercut at ringside. Cesaro then hit a flying crossbody in the ring for a near fall. Reigns fought back and worked over Cesaro's arm. He followed this up with a drive-by to the arm. Cesaro briefly fought back, but Reigns went back to the arm. Reigns was firmly in control. He backed Cesaro into the corner and caught him with a big boot. Reigns taunted Cesaro and stopped him in the corner. Cesaro fought back with an uppercut and a clothesline. Cesaro and Reigns traded shots in the middle of the ring. Cesaro then gave Reigns a superplex from the apron for a near fall. Cesaro attempted a sharpshooter, but Reigns fought back. Cesaro then went for a double foot stomp. Cesaro then went for the neutralizer, and then his arm gave out. Cesaro fought back and went for the springboard uppercut, but Reigns hit him with a Superman punch for a very close near fall. Reigns went for a spear, and Cesaro hit an uppercut. Cesaro attempted a pop-up uppercut, but his arm gave out, and he couldn't do the whole lift him up. Reigns would then lock on the guillotine submission. Cesaro would hulk up and break free. Cesaro would then lock on the sharpshooter. He then transitioned that sharpshooter into a crossface. Roman broke free. Roman then hit Cesaro with a series of shots and then a sit-out powerbomb for a close near fall. I think this was the spot. I could be wrong. Could have been earlier in the match when he's beating down Cesaro and he looks in the camera and goes, "Hey, DB. Hey, DB. Is this what you wanted for Cesaro? Is this what you wanted for your boy?" Calling out Daniel Bryan, which is a very interesting thing to do because then they mentioned what he's doing on commentary as well. Very interesting. Cesaro at one point tried to fight back, but Roman got him into another guillotine. Cesaro lifted Reigns up, almost broke free, but Reigns tightened his grip, and Cesaro passed out. The referee called for the match to be finished. Over-ended. Cesaro never tapped, never verbally quit. He passed out, and the ref called for the match to end. As soon as the match ends, Jey Uso would run out with the lay. He looked at Roman, put the layover around his neck, and basically said, "You're the tribal chief. You're the universal champion." Reigns then whispered in something in Jay's ear, and Jay says, "I got him." And he runs to Cesaro and hits him with a super kick. He starts to beat him down when the music of Seth Rollins would then hit. Seth would walk down in one of his dapper suits. Rollins went face to face with Roman Reigns. He got right in Roman's face, maybe 6 inches away, a foot maybe. And you go, "Oh, is Seth turning, babe?" No. Couldn't even finish that sentence before he jumps on Cesaro. He beats down Cesaro, throws Cesaro out of the ring, beats Cesaro down around ringside. Rollins then threw Cesaro out of the ring. Like I said, beat him down. Rollins then attacked Cesaro with a chair and targeted the injured arm. He trapped the arm in the chair and slammed it against the ring post. He then hit a curb stomp on Cesaro and celebrated as WrestleMania Backlash went off the air. Where the hell is this going? More Seth and Cesaro? Why? Cesaro's beaten him twice in the last month. Beat him in Mania, the real WrestleMania, and then beat him a couple weeks ago on SmackDown. Why? Why do we need this again? It makes no sense. Then you got that question. Who the fuck challenges Roman? We look at the SmackDown locker room or the SmackDown roster. You've got some baby faces with momentum, but they're going for that IC title. You got Big E. You should have said, Big E, screw the IC title. Go after Roman. You got Kevin Owens, but they did that to death 5-6 months ago. Because you keep looking at the SmackDown roster, there's nobody else. I mean, Aleister Black, I assume he's going to be a heel. Shinsuke Nakamura, he's playing dress up with King Corbin with the crown. So I don't know. I mean, you could go Shinsuke and have Shinsuke want to avenge Cesaro for getting his ass beat against Roman. I mean, you could go that route, but they made us think maybe not. You know what I mean? So I don't know where they're going to go here, but I know where I'm going to go, and that's to check the Twitch poll, the YouTube poll, and take your calls. As far as the Twitch poll does go, 93% of you liked tonight's show, with 7% saying it was just all right. As far as the YouTube poll does go, 62% liked the show, 31% thought it was all right, and 7% did not like tonight's WrestleMania Backlash. But with that, we're going to check the text messages while we wait for your phone calls to come in. Put on these headphones just in case we get some calls. Remember, you can call in 510-906-1341. And that number is 510-906-1341. First text message here just state, do we think we get Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre in Hell in a Cell? I mean, it kind of seemed like it. That was another thing they announced tonight. Hell in a Cell, June 20th, 5 weeks from tonight. But it kind of seemed like Drew and Bobby aren't done. We're going into Hell in a Cell. Drew, Bobby, Hell in a Cell. It does seem very plausible. But with that, let's take our first first call, Caller, you're on the air. What'd you think of WrestleMania Backlash?
I thought WrestleMania Backlash was a really, really good show, but except for the Damian Priest and Miz match, that I don't think was really needed at all. But with are they like setting up something for Cesaro and Seth Rollins?
I mean,
for like Hell in a Cell.
It seems like it. It really does, because there was no reason for Seth to come out and attack Cesaro if they're not doing another match. And I guess Hell in a Cell would be fun. It's redemption for Seth's last Hell in a Cell match.
Right.
Give him a good match inside the cell.
And then what's the reason for them changing up the pay-per-view schedule?
So I don't know why they've moved Hell in a Cell so early in the year. That we don't know. I don't know. But what I was told is originally in July, it was supposed to be Extreme Rules on July 18th. WWE is possibly going back on the road that weekend, and some feel in the company Money in the Bank would be a better show to do in front of the crowd than Extreme Rules, as far as the first show back on the road, which I wholeheartedly agree.
Extreme Rules in October. The horror show,
Right, most likely. You can do the horror show in October or whatever they want to call it. But I think doing Money in the Bank in front of fans, give them 2 great Money in the Bank matches as your first like big hurrah on the road. I think that's the better move than Extreme Rules, because people have been kind of just meh on Extreme Rules the last couple of years.
Yeah. Okay. Have a good night.
All right. Thanks for the call and have a great night. All right. With that, we got this text message basically said, do you think they're going to do Drew and Bobby in the cell? Probably. First, that says, I thought WrestleMania Backlash was all right pay-per-view tonight. I really enjoy both the triple threat matches and the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match with Rey and Dominic. Thought that was a great moment, and the main event Universal Championship match. Yeah. They say something about the match on SmackDown this coming week for the IC title, the Fatal 4-Way. They're excited for it. This person says, Seth versus Cesaro. What do you think? I mean, like the last caller said, they're probably going to put that match inside the Hell in a Cell. It's going to be 5 weeks of build-up, so we'll see how long they can really keep that interesting for 5 weeks, but I don't know. Person says, do you think Seth Rollins is going to join Roman Reigns and Jey Uso? No. This person says, can I ask a question? Is Pat McAfee a heel commentator or a babyface commentator? Because I don't understand what the hell they're doing with him. He's just Pat McAfee. He's just a great-ass commentator. Literally, more than anybody that they've had in a long time. They told Pat McAfee, from what I've been told, hey, just go out there and be yourself. Call this show. We'll give you some direction in your ear. But for the most part, just go out there, be yourself, be a guy, call in this match at ringside. I think Pat McAfee has been a joy on commentary. A joy. Where it says, where does Braun and Drew go from here? I'd like to see Lashley versus Lesnar at SummerSlam. Who knows when Brock's coming back? Nobody knows when Brock's coming back. As far as Drew, probably Hell in a Cell with Bobby Lashley. And Braun, ow. Mr. Person says, have you heard the go-home edition of Dynamite could potentially air after SmackDown? It is airing after SmackDown. The plan right now for the final episode of AEW Dynamite before Double or Nothing is to air at 10 p.m. Eastern on that Friday because they're being preempted by the NBA. And the following week, they're probably going to be preempted again. Now, here's the thing. They could air at 8 on TNT and go straight head-to-head with SmackDown. Hopefully, they can get like a good basketball game at 8 as like a lead-in for Dynamite because, yeah, they're screwed. Another person says, I thought the show was good overall except the Lumberjack match. This is a bit of a long-term question, but I think Edge comes back around SummerSlam for a 1v1 with Reigns. Thoughts? I could see him coming back at SummerSlam. I don't know about a 1v1 with Reigns. Maybe, but I wouldn't do it. They've already done the Reigns-Edge thing. Edge got pinned. Yeah, I know you're going to say, but they gave Daniel Bryan another shot. True. But that was because he's leaving, possibly-ish. Yeah. Where says, bring the Fiend back as a babyface to challenge Roman or Jimmy. I don't want to see Jimmy. This person's right here. That would feel a little forced. Yes, that's what I said on Twitter as well. Jimmy Uso versus Roman Reigns match for the title right now would seem a little forced. Kind of like, hey, Jimmy's back. We're going to do the same thing we did with Jay. He doesn't see him as this all-powerful, mighty head of the table. They're going to butt heads and they're going to feud for the title. It seems too much like what they did with Jay early on last year when Roman came back. Final text message here. Do you think Becky Lynch is returning tomorrow night on Raw? Anything's possible. Who knows? I thought Becky should be back a month ago. I thought she should come back at Mania or right after Mania. I don't know. And I've asked, I said, hey, what's up with Becky? And the couple people that I can ask say, I don't know. I've been getting a lot of I don't knows regarding Becky Lynch. So your guess is as good as mine, fella. Final text message here says, how long till Jimmy eventually joins Reigns? I assume that's the plan, unless you split the Usos as a team off from Roman. I mean, it's hard because they're literally doing the same thing with Jimmy they did with Jay. And I don't like that. I get Jay coming in and being like, hey, Roman, he ain't treating you right. But then they're butting heads just like Jay did with Roman. So it's like, I don't know. They're pushing this narrative a little too much, and they're forcing it too much to be just like they've already done. So we'll see where that leads to. We'll see where that goes, but I'm not a big fan of it since it's basically the Jey Uso storyline, but with a slight twisted wrinkle because you've got Jay there, and now it's Jimmy not believing in Roman as the head of the table or believing in Roman as I have to do what you say because we're in the same family kind of deal. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited. Thank you for joining me on YouTube. YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember, we will be live tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw. Same place. Same place. With that, also follow us on social media, facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD. Follow us on Instagram by searching for Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and follow us on Twitter at PW Unlimited. With that, guys, have a great rest of your night, great rest of your weekend. I'll see you tomorrow for Monday Night Raw. Have a good one.